Good morning, Jairam here. Welcome to Almost Market Morning. So markets were positive yesterday after 2 days of consecutive fall. Actually, the view in the market is quite divided, particularly on the US stock market. One way, the economy is doing very well. All the data are coming good, and the fact that Fed is thinking of tightening the monetary policy is evidence that the economy is doing well. So stocks have to be supported. On the other side, there is challenge from the COVID. As it is, the number of cases are high there, over 110,000. And the new variant has also posed a challenge because we are still not sure whether the vaccines are effective or not. So we do not know if it continues, there may be some growth challenge. But as of now, investors are still biased to be long in stocks. That's why the markets are not falling that much. And it's kind of right now 2 steps down and 1 step up kind of market. Weekly jobless claims were better than expectation, following also the challenger job cuts data, which showed employers are increasingly disinclined to hand out pink slips. This followed the ADP job numbers, which came day before yesterday at much higher level. All these augurs well for today's non-farm payroll report, where expectation is for an increase of 5,50,000 new jobs, unemployment rate to fall to 4.5%. So if it meets the expectation, it confirms that Fed will be closer to taking a positive stance on raising rates. Anyway, doubling the taper amount is almost a foregone conclusion. Another important development is Treasury Secretary Yellen also said she is ready to retire the word transitory to describe inflation. In fact, she also said it is Fed's job to avert any wage price spiral, and she understands the reasoning behind plans at the central bank to scale back the asset purchase. So she basically supporting the taper and other plans by Fed. Wage price behavior she sees as a key sign to watching whether the US economy is overheating. Really, I think together they are preparing market for rate hikes in the coming year. Coming to the Eurozone, PPI came at 5.4% month on month and 21.9% year on year in October, well above expectations of 3.2 and 19. So with a consistently higher input inflation, it's only a matter of time they pass on to consumers, taking the retail inflation also higher. It's very difficult to see ECB persisting with its transitory view on inflation, and they may well do a volte-face like the Fed in the coming weeks. The important event of OPEC meeting ended without any change in their output increase plans. This is probably driven by some influence from the US as well as other large consuming countries. Probably they didn't want to antagonize these countries. It looks more like a political decision rather than an economic decision. However, the crude did not fall after such a decision because it had already lost about 25+% from the peak. And I think it was looking oversold. So we have seen some modest recovery in the crude prices. So now all eyes on today's jobs report, and we will take further direction. Dollar is really lost its direction right now, moving in narrow ranges. We had extremely overbought condition that is slowly getting corrected in terms of time rather than in terms of price. We have to get new triggers for the next direction of the dollar, possibly today's non-farm payroll report, and next week's Fed meeting can provide those triggers. On the INR again, after moving into a slightly higher range, rupee has been in a very tight band. I have been given to understand that good bits on dips around 90 levels from larger players, including PSU banks. At the same time, 75.20 has offered a very good resistance. Only above that, we can see more gains for the dollar INR. We do have a situation where our CAD is likely to worsen. I feel towards 1.5%. Based on the latest trade figures for the last 3 months. But that's more for the medium term and depends on how much weakness the RBI would like the rupee to take on. And also only when the market starts to buy, it will, right now market is not buying into these theories because the flows are still around. So for the day, we should look at 74.90 and 75.15 as the range. Probably next week we'll have a slightly broader range. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. And the world financial markets are in exciting times and the environment looks to be changing. Both monetary and fiscal policies looks as if they are out of steam and are looking for new weapons in their armory to, tackle the uncertainty coming on with the new set of variants, be it Omicron or, the ever being discussed financial debt crisis with the Chinese markets. So the established names of Munger and other economists are already been calling this as a crazy era, even crazier than the dot-com bubble. And recently, again, they have started raising voices wherein they say the current valuations are extremely overvalued. While the recent volatilities in the equities and other markets also signal traders are coming to terms with the end of free-flowing liquidity and the easy money available by the Fed and the other central banks' easy money stimulus packages. Though the credit markets were the ones to start taking this into account way too early, as early as September, and expecting that the taper would end sooner than expected. The equity markets are now seemingly to be taking this into their cues as well. The equity markets, which were buoyant by the liquidity, kept moving quite higher as the credit market players were like, hold it. Time will tell whether there is any taper or interest rate hikes coming sooner than what you expect. Once this easy money taps out, valuations and earnings may start to become of importance and matter much more than what it is right now. The short-dated bonds have already come under pressure. Again, while the long-dated bonds have started to rally, the gap between the 2 and 10 is narrowest since Jan, that is to 82 basis points. An indicator followed quite a lot in the economic aspect. On the crypto front, after years of warning the investors in the Indian markets, the central bank initially thought they'd go ahead with banning the cryptos in 2018, only to be overturned by the Supreme Court. Recent bills by the government also stated banning the crypto assets, but it needs to be seen that these markets are here to stay, and even the government recognizing by having some sort of a bill to be passed is stating that these assets are here to stay, and they are looking to be softening their stance in that front. So it needs to be seen whether there is an actual ban or there is something else coming up before any more frenzied rally can or should take place in the crypto markets. That's it for today. This is Shikhar Garg signing off in place of Pankaj Rathi today.